Good morning. We are here today to bring to your attention some information Unite the People believes is exculpatory in Mr. Daystar Peterson's case, professionally known as Tory Lanez. Recently, we've been made aware that a member of the media, Mr. Gianno Caldwell, was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gascon, Megan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded last week was Megan Pete's representatives with a request for more information. A few days later, Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell. Unite the People represents Daystar Peterson in his appellate process. We filed an appellate brief and a writ of habeas corpus on his behalf. The district attorney's office has already responded. The case is fully briefed. We're just waiting.
First off, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Please help me grow this channel. And my personal opinion before I even really kind of get started into the whole video, right, is I actually followed this case. I'm a Tory Lanez fan. I'm a Meg Thee Stallion fan. I listen to both music. Of course, you know, Meg's not as much because, of course, you know, it's more geared towards women and that whole thing. But I still listen to her music, right? And just hearing like the information from that case, it was the fact that I didn't think that Tory did it. You know, that's just my personal opinion. Some people might say, hey, well, why are you saying that? I mean, literally, they said that, you know, if I fire a gun, every gun, you know, you have the residue off of the gun. When the man didn't have 0.000, like, no part of the gun residue was on him, right? And so, from me, how can you fire a gun if you didn't have the residue on you? Even if you wear gloves and that kind of thing, like, you're going to have something from the gun on you. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first thing. Then it just was a lot of inconsistencies in Megan, with her basically saying, you know, that initially she said no, they didn't have sex. Yeah, they didn't have. Then they did have sex. So automatically, when you telling me that I'm supposed to believe you, but that you already lying to me, like, I'm not. Nah, that's just me. So I personally don't think that he did it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of to me, he lost his trial in the court of public opinion and not actually in court. I think that with Meg being, you know, signed to a big record label, and just kind of the people that she has backing her, and then, you know, of course, when you're a woman, you know, you get those situations where, you know, you can cry wolf and then everybody automatically believes you, and then it's 10 times harder for the man to actually prove that he didn't do it. And even if, let's just say, he didn't do it, and then he got off, right? Nobody would say, oh, yeah, well, you know, he got off and it's a big thing. It'll just be a little blip on the radar. Just like, okay, well, hey, he didn't do it, so let's keep going forward, right? Nobody's going to stop the show. Nobody's going to do a whole song and dance and everything else to say that you're innocent, but everybody's going to do that to say that you're guilty. So that's just my personal opinion before I get into what this possible new evidence is. And then let's just kind of see where we go from here. But also, like I say again, like, subscribe, and let's go.
For the appellate court's decision. We were willing to wait for the appellate process to play out. But given that brutal, unprovoked attack, we felt it necessary to come here today to provide you with this information. It is our intention to make a request to the governor to either pardon or commute the sentence of Mr. Peterson, so that when he recovers from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell, but that he's allowed to go home and recover.
And also, if you guys haven't heard Tory's new album from jail, I like the music. I've always been, like I said, a Tory fan. I always like his music. I think he's one of the best artists out there, just all the way around, from making the songs, making the videos, and just he's really artistic. So I really, you know, enjoy his music and everything else. But just put out an album. And also, he had a song with DDG. If you guys aren't familiar with DDG, he's a streamer who's an artist as well. They just put out a song, and in the song, Tory was basically saying that, you know, that he looking to come home pretty soon. And right after that song comes out, he gets stabbed 14 times, you know, in the back, the neck, in the head, and all this other kind of stuff like that. So that's what this gentleman is talking about, that Tory got stabbed in jail. And now they're possibly looking into bringing him home earlier because of this incident. So, I don't know. Is it a conspiracy? Am I a conspiracy theorist? A little bit, right? They both put that song out. Tory talked about coming home. And then DDG in that same song talked about his relationship. Now, even with his situation, she has a restraining order on him. So, is it the record label? Is it? I don't know. But like I said, all this is just kind of, you know, coincidence across the board for me. And sometimes, you know, when it's too much of a coincidence, you know, it's some kind of truth behind it. So let's keep going.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Miss Harris had where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun.
So this go back to my point, what I said earlier, right? From my understanding, like I said, I followed the trial, and he never had the gun residue on him. So this new evidence, this gentleman is saying is that she had the actual gun. She was the one that was firing it, and then he never ended up firing the gun. So how could residue get on him? So how do you say that someone fired a gun and the residue's on them? Like, that's the first thing. It just don't make sense. And the young lady that he's talking about now, right, this Kelsey individual, you know, how do you basically, why would you go on trial and go on a stand and just say you plead the fifth on every question that is asked to you about your involvement in a situation, right? If I didn't do it, I'm gonna just say, hey, I didn't do it. You know, whatever. Whatever question y'all want to ask me the questions. But for her to go up there and just plead the fifth to everything, and then on top of that, not just plead the fifth, but to get immunity for whatever. Like, you only get immunity if you actually done something. You know what I'm saying? If you were a part of something and you said, hey, you know what, I'm gonna snitch, I'm a rat, I'm gonna tell on this person for me to get immunity for, you know, not to have any issues moving forward or to go to jail or whatever. And so she got immunity, and she just went on stand and just pleaded the fifth the entire time to every question. So to me, that already was a red flag of, could you have done it as well? So, like I said, let's just keep going.
Never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Shawn Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. The passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson.
Bingo.
Even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken?
Fact.
Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken, and again, simply not given to the defense? We don't know. It should have been taken. It is Unite the People's understanding, regular LAPD practice at a crime scene like that, anybody who's there, the DNA is taken. Another irregularity. Why, at Ms. Harris's police interview, was a non-lawyer, non-family member record company executive allowed to participate?
Bam, Rock Nation. Rock Nation had to be the one, like I said, that because that's who Meg is signed with, is Rock Nation, right? So why would a record label exec or whoever this record label personnel was at the crime scene as far as trying to help Meg, right? Why was this individual even in the room? You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of sketchy to me. So to me, like I said initially, Tory lost this decision in the court of public opinion. Like he didn't lose it in the courtroom. He lost that before he even walked through the door. I think that he went to court thinking that, okay, well, hey, you know, I'm not going to snitch because after they see the evidence, there's no way I could have done it, right? So it was only one other person that was in the car. Meg didn't shoot herself. Well, two other people was in the car, the driver and Kelsey, right? If I go to trial and let's just say that all the evidence that I know come about, there's no way that they can find me liable for shooting her. But what he didn't realize was that the individuals that Meg had with her and the story that Meg told would be more impactful than the truth. That's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Let's keep going.
Highly irregular situation. Normally we see cases, strangers are not allowed in these things, but it was in this case. All of these things point to the highly irregular nature of his trial and his conviction. It is our contention that he was wrongly convicted. And while we at first were willing to let the process play out, it is our contention now that if he is not pardoned or released promptly, he may never come out. And that would be the ultimate injustice, is that he gets killed in prison for something he did not do. At this time, I'd like to bring up Mr. Gianno Caldwell.
So, yeah, man, what y'all tell me what y'all think, man. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that he did it? Do you think that he did not do it? Was Meg telling the truth? Is this whole thing a lie? Like, put it in the comments. Tell me the truth, what y'all think. That's just my honest take. That's just what I think about it. And I'm gonna put this video, like I said, in the comments so you can watch the full length video. I think it's like 40 plus minutes. However, at the same time, just my thoughts. Put this in the video. Please like, please subscribe. Also, in this video, they're going to talk about just Tory having, if you guys think that he didn't do it and he should be home, I'm going to also put the link of where you can actually sign a petition to possibly bring Tory Lanez home. You know, if you think he didn't do it, think he's wrongly accused, please go sign that petition. I'm actually going to go sign a petition. If not, you know, if you feel like, hey, you know what, he did it, he should be in jail, no problem, no issues. That's just your personal opinion as well. Don't sign the petition, right? But I'm gonna try to do as much as I can because I don't think that he did it. If I did think that he did do it, you know, I would not sign a petition. But from my understanding, the way I feel about it, I don't think that he did. So I will. But outside of that, hey man, Ace.HonestTakes, thank you guys so much for your time today. Please like, please subscribe, and please keep moving forward with us to help us grow this channel. And thank you guys for your time. We out. Peace.